Welcome back to Pace Immigration, paceimmigration.com. Talking once again with Vince Lalonde, Director of Immigration at Pace. How you doing, Vince?
Good. How are you?
Great. So we were talking about the startup visa last week, and you said, I want to boil this down for people into the top 5 reasons they should use it. But I guess we should preface things with, what is the startup visa?
Sure. Yeah. I'll just very briefly. The startup visa program is a program that was created a few years ago to attract innovative entrepreneurs to come to Canada, bring their innovative ideas over here, and start their business here. So if you've seen Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, one of those shows, it's a little bit like that. You have designated organizations, which are incubators, angel investors, or venture capital funds that have been approved by the government. If one of those groups selects you and decides to work with you, they'll provide you with a certificate. And once you have that, you can apply for permanent residence in Canada and come to Canada and start up your innovative business here.
That sounds great. Let's go through your top 5 reasons. The first one you had for us is it's safe. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so it's safe from a couple of perspectives, actually. The first perspective is the business perspective. So if you're coming to Canada and you're starting a business, you're coming from a foreign country, it can be kind of a daunting prospect. You're not familiar with Canadian business practices. You're not familiar with Canadian laws. You don't have those all-important connections, business connections that you need to do business. Anybody that's done business anywhere knows how important those connections are. With the Startup Visa program, because you're working with a designated organization, you're working with an incubator or an angel investor or a VC fund, those guys have all the connections that you need. They're able to make introductions for you. They're able to help you set up your business, explain the laws, and help you understand the market here in Canada. So it's a big leg up. It's a lot safer to do business in Canada if you have somebody like that, an incubator angel investor that has your back and is able to support you in your venture.
Excellent. And what about the direct permanent residency here we see?
Yeah, so a lot of the business programs right now, the Canadian entrepreneur programs, require you to come to Canada on a work permit, set up your business, and then if and only if you come to Canada and set up your business and your business meets certain requirements, can you apply for permanent residence? Would you even be eligible for permanent residence? The Startup Visa program is a direct permanent residence application. Okay, so as soon as you get that support, as soon as you've secured that letter of support from one of those designated organizations, you can apply for permanent residence directly. Okay, so a lot of applicants feel it's a lot less risky. Of course, if you want to come on a work permit, you don't want to wait for your permanent residence application to be processed. You want to come a little bit earlier and get started on your business. You're welcome to do so. But the point is, you don't have to set up your business in order to be eligible for permanent residence. As soon as you get that letter of support from a designated organization, an incubator, angel investor, or VC fund, you can apply for permanent residence directly. So a lot of applicants feel it's safer, and it gives them a little bit of peace of mind that they don't have that to risk so much in order to be eligible for permanent residence.
Great stuff. All right, number 2 on your list, no minimum investment amount. That sounds pretty good. Describe it.
Yeah, so a lot of business, actually, I mean, this is, we help applicants apply for permanent residence or citizenship in countries around the world. And almost every business program or, citizenship by investment or residency by investment program has a minimum investment amount. The Startup Visa program doesn't have a minimum investment. Okay, that doesn't mean you don't need to invest anything in your business. It just means it's a lot more flexible. Okay, even if you have a kind of an idea phase business, something that's very small, you're still welcome to come to Canada and try it out, as long as you can get the support of one of those designated groups. Okay, so if your business is very small, you don't have a lot of capital, you're still welcome to come and try. In some cases, those groups will actually fund your business. If you're getting your letter of support from an angel investor, the angel investors need to invest at least 75,000 Canadian dollars into your business. And if you're getting your letter of support from a venture capital fund, the VC fund needs to invest at least 200,000 Canadian dollars into your business. So that provides you with that support that you need if you're in a position where you don't really have those assets yourself. The other good thing about the fact that there's no minimum investment, just to be clear, you will have to show the government that you have enough money to support yourself for the first year or so, but it's really a minimum amount. Because you don't have a stated minimum investment, like most other programs, there's a minimum investment of at least $200,000 or up to $600,000 or even more. Because you don't have that minimum investment, it means that you also don't need to prove a significant amount of net worth. Okay, like just by comparison, the Quebec Investor Program, before it got shut down, you had to prove hundreds of thousands of dollars of net worth before you could even be eligible for the program, because you had to explain where the money that you're making this investment is coming from. For this program, because there's no minimum investment, you don't need to prove where that money is coming from, and that's a lot easier threshold for some clients to meet, because certain parts of the world, even if you're a very successful business person, you can't necessarily prove with documentation where all your assets came from.
Okay, and you're exactly right. I mean, the first question out of most people's mouths when we talk about it, business investment programs is, well, how much money do I have? What's the minimum requirement? But there's none here. But like you say, I mean, you have to have some skin in the game. Obviously.
Of course, yeah.
Moving on to number 3, of your top 5, it's fast. Talk about the processing time.
Yeah. So again, everything is relative here. When I say it's fast, I'm comparing it to other Canadian or maybe U.S. business programs. Of course, it's not as fast as some of the Caribbean citizenship by investment programs, where you can get your citizenship in a couple of months. But compared to the other Canadian business programs, it's still relatively fast. The other thing to keep in mind here, of course, is that everything has slowed down because of the pandemic. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you're still going to have to wait forever. Right now, processing times are about 2 years to get your permanent residence. That's still a lot faster than some of the other business programs out there, the provincial entrepreneur programs, for example, or the old Quebec Investor Program. And the other thing to keep in mind here is, even if it is a couple of years, you have the option of coming in on a work permit and getting started on your business, bringing your family over, getting settled, while you wait for the permanent residence application to be processed. So it's an option. You don't need to come on the work permit, but we find that more and more people, and we're actually encouraging applicants to come on the work permit now, especially because the processing times are a little bit longer. You want to be able to come and get started on your business as soon as possible. We're dealing with innovative businesses here a lot, so there is a shelf life for some of these businesses. Yeah. And it's a good idea to come on the work permit while you're waiting for the permanent residence application to be processed.
Great advice. Okay, moving on. Number 4, it benefits the Canadian economy. Canada's not doing this out of the goodness of their hearts, are they? They want something back, like jobs.
Of course, yeah. So that's always been an issue with these business programs, whether they really benefit the Canadian economy. With the old investor program, there was a lot of debate about how much that really helped the Canadian economy, because a lot of investors were just kind of plopping their money down in Canada and then returning to their home country and continuing to work and pay taxes in their home country. Same thing with the entrepreneur programs, because, like I said, with those provincial nominee entrepreneur programs or some of the other programs like the owner operator program, you don't have that support from a designated organization. You're kind of doing things on your own. So applicants tend to do, we say, very safe businesses, like a dry cleaner or maybe a simple restaurant or a gas station, something that's not going to provide a huge benefit to the Canadian economy. And like I said, you can't blame them. I mean, you're coming to a foreign country, you're coming to Canada, you don't know the laws here, you don't know anybody. It makes sense to do something really safe. The Startup Visa Program, on the other hand, we're looking for innovative businesses that can create jobs for Canadians and compete on a global scale. Those are the 3 requirements of the program, actually. Okay, so that means that we're going to be getting businesses. We're looking for the next Uber or the next Amazon or the next big tech startup. We want to attract those kinds of innovative businesses to come to Canada and set up here rather than going to the US or going to their home country. So, in the long run, the hope is that those innovative businesses are the ones that are really going to help the Canadian economy to grow and to create jobs, and good jobs as well. So, there's definitely a benefit for the Canadian government here. That's why everybody really likes this program. Both parties, whether it's the Liberals or the Conservatives, doesn't matter who's in power. Everybody likes the startup visa program.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that too, because we did a webinar on this in the past, and maybe a dozen questions were about, well, I want to open a dry cleaner, or I want to open the shop. If you're thinking brick and mortar, it's probably not the startup visa, is it?
Probably not. Those, if you want to do that type of business, you're more than welcome to come to Canada and apply under, like I said, one of the provincial nominee entrepreneur programs. There are programs for those types of people. But, keep in mind that, if you want to do something a little bit more daring, a little bit more innovative, normally that would be a big risk. But like I said at the very beginning, because you're working with an incubator or an angel investor or a VC fund that can help you with that business and make those introductions, help you get funding, help you raise capital, it's going to be a lot safer and a lot easier for you to do something a little bit more out of the box, a little bit more innovative.
Right. Let's carry on to number 5, the last one in our top 5. It's flexible. You touched on this a little bit earlier. Go into it a little more deeply here. Yeah,
a little bit. So like I said, it really doesn't matter how big your business is or what type of business you're doing, as long as it's innovative. And like I said, it can create jobs for Canadians, potentially compete on a global scale. You can do anything you want under this program. So if your business is just in the idea phase, let's say you're an engineer or an entrepreneur who has an innovative business idea, but you haven't really gotten started on it yet. Hey, if it's innovative enough to secure the support of one of those designated groups, then you're more than welcome to come to Canada and try it out. You don't need to invest a minimum amount. So, some people just have a business plan and, a good idea. And if you want to come to Canada and try it, as long as someone's willing to support you, you're welcome to do so. Also, there's no management experience requirement, probably for the same reason. Like I said, a lot of people with innovative business ideas, they might not be the manager at the business that they're working at in their home country. Maybe they're, a computer tech person, or they're an engineer, computer engineer, or some kind of software engineer. You don't need that management experience to participate in the startup visa program. So it's a lot more flexible in that regard as well. And the last but not least, there's no age limit. You could be 20 years old or you could be 80 years old. Age is just a number as far as the startup visa program is concerned. If you have an innovative business idea, it doesn't matter how old you are. I have a client, 70 years old. He just got his permanent residence. He's here now with his family and getting started on his business already. So, it doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you meet those 3 criteria, your business meets those 3 criteria, and you can get the support of an incubator or angel investor, venture capital fund, then you're welcome to come to Canada and try it out.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on success too. I mean, this isn't just a pipe dream, is it? People have met with success through this program.
Definitely, yeah. There's a lot of success stories, but at the same time, it's not a requirement. So, Canada understands that not every venture is going to be successful. They're taking a chance on you. Not just the Canadian government, but those designated organizations are also taking a chance by agreeing to support your business. They're going to do everything they can to make sure that you're successful. And like I said, there have been a lot of success stories of people coming into Canada under the startup visa program and creating a successful and innovative business. But on the other hand, if your business fails, you're unable to, create your business in the way that you envisioned in your business plan, then you're not going to lose your permanent residence for that reason. So a lot of people come to Canada, they realize what they originally envisioned isn't going to quite work. They change their business plan, they do something a little bit differently, and they're still able to be successful nonetheless.
Excellent. Yeah, that sounds very fair. So wrapping it all up, Lalonde at pacelawfirm.com. Obviously, I just wanted to point people to the email address because if they do have a concept and they're interested in getting in touch with some of these angel investors, you can help them out.
Yeah, sure. We're the ones that are working on the immigration application, but we're more than willing to provide some feedback if clients have an innovative business idea, they'd like to come to Canada. We can tell them about the program, tell them about how it works, how that works, communicating and coordinating with those designated organizations, and we can definitely help them get started. So yeah, more than welcome to contact me by email. Any question you have, I'm happy to reply and provide my feedback.
Excellent. Thanks, Vince, for this. That's the top 5 reasons to use the Startup Visa program. If you have an idea or you're on your way with your business anyway, or any other questions that you might have about it, please contact Vince at Lalonde at pacelawfirm.com. Thank you, Vince.
Thanks, Sean.